February 28, 2026, 11:45 p.m. The silence over Iran's central Dasht-e-Kavir desert is shattered by a sequence of pressurized thuds. Beneath the salt flats, massive reinforced concrete silo lids slide back for the first time. This is not a drill. Moments later, Fateh 110 and Shahab 3 ballistic missiles ignite, clawing their way into the night sky, their trajectories locked onto Tel Aviv, Riyadh, and the airfields of the UAE. Raw surveillance footage reveals the intense orange backblast transforming the desert into a blinding daylight anomaly. Inside IRGC command centers, officers track the ascending red dots, their shouts of victory muffled by the immense rumble. They were initiating what they believed was a devastating opening move. But they were unaware that as their missiles ascended, the skies over Tehran were already being breached by invisible stealth assets. Their targeting sensors locked directly onto the coordinates of the Beit Rahbari compound. It was the decision that would inevitably change the Middle East forever. Within minutes of the Iranian launch, the skies over the Middle East transform into a laboratory of kinetic slaughter. Over Tel Aviv and Riyadh, the Iron Dome and Patriot batteries awaken, firing interceptors that streak upward like white veins against the black sky. This is the Iron Rain. Raw civilian footage from Israeli balconies captures the terrifying pop-pop-pop of mid-air interceptions, each explosion a momentary sun that reveals the panicked faces of those below. In Saudi Arabia, fragments of a Shahab 3 missile plummet into the outskirts of an oil facility, the impact recorded by a grainy thermal security camera. This isn't just a military engagement. It is the physical manifestation of a regional collapse. While the world watches the fire in the sky, Western intelligence assets verify the launch points. The data is fed back to carrier groups in the Persian Gulf in real time. The trap is being set. Iran has emptied its silos, and now, the most guarded airspace in Tehran is about to face its ultimate test as the retaliation protocols are authorized. While the world's eyes are glued to the fireworks over Israel, a silent predator enters the Tehran airspace. Flying below the radar threshold, a flight of F-35 Ayadir stealth fighters, coordinated with U.S. cyber warfare units, initiates the blackout. At 4:12 a.m., the high-voltage grids surrounding the Beit Rahbari compound surge and fail. In that momentary darkness, the strike is delivered. Two 2,000-pound bunker buster munitions, guided by laser designation from assets on the ground, pierce the reinforced roof of the Supreme Leader's inner sanctum. There is no traditional fire, only a massive pressurized release of energy that collapses the structure from within. Dust and pulverized marble erupt into the night air as the thermal signatures of the compound disappear from satellite monitoring. The IRGC's Ansar al-Mahdi security detail is decimated instantly. In the wreckage, the 36-year reign of Ali Khamenei is extinguished in a fraction of a second, leaving only a smoldering crater where the heart of the Islamic Republic once stood. For 6 agonizing hours, the Islamic Republic remains a headless giant. Internet traffic out of Tehran drops by 90% as the IRGC implements a total digital blockade. At 10 a.m. on March 1st, the official silence is broken. A state broadcaster, visibly trembling and dressed in funeral black, appears on IRN. He reads a terse statement. The Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, has been martyred in a cowardly and criminal attack. The regime declares 40 days of mourning. But behind the scenes, the stability of the state is fracturing. With the 2024 death of Ibrahim Raisi, the planned succession has vanished. An interim leadership council, consisting of President Pezeshkian, Chief Justice Mohseni Ejei, and Ayatollah Alireza Arafi, is hastily sworn in. However, intelligence leaks suggest the IRGC is already moving to secure its own interests. Tanks take up positions outside the Ministry of Interior, not to protect the state, but to ensure that the vacuum of power is filled by the iron fist of the military. As the first signs of civil unrest begin to flicker in the outskirts of Tehran, by the morning of March 2nd, the IRGC, operating under decentralized vengeance protocols, unleashes a second, more desperate wave of fire. This is no longer just about Israel. To impose a global cost for Khamenei's death, Iran targets the economic arteries of the world. Ballistic missiles and swarms of Shahed 136 drones are launched toward the UAE, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. In Dubai, a plume of black smoke rises from the Jebel Ali port after a drone penetrates the defense screen, while Zayed International Airport is forced into an emergency shutdown. In Abu Dhabi, a fuel tank terminal in Musafa is struck, turning the industrial skyline into a wall of flame. The message from Tehran is clear. If the Islamic Republic is to burn, the entire region will burn with it. U.S. Patriot batteries across the Gulf are pushed to their breaking point, engaging hundreds of incoming targets simultaneously. Global oil markets react instantly, with prices surging as the Strait of Hormuz is declared a restricted military zone, effectively strangling 20% of the world's petroleum flow in a single day. March 3, 2026. The atmosphere in Tehran has shifted from shock to a volatile, dangerous defiance. Despite 40 days of mandated mourning, the internal fracture of the state is visible on every street corner. Raw surveillance confirms that the IRGC is no longer a unified monolith. In the northwestern Quds Basij bases, satellite imagery shows charred ruins following a series of precision strikes that liquidated senior intelligence deputies. The axis of resistance is fraying as foreign militias are funneled into the capital to replace defecting local units. In the shadow of the Malad Tower, student protests, simmering since January, have erupted again, with crowds now numbering in the thousands. They no longer whisper. They chant for the end of the interim council. In the province of Sistan and Baluchistan, grainy footage shows local insurgents seizing regional armories as the central authorities' grip weakens. The regime's response is a desperate increase in kinetic force. But with the supreme head gone, the nervous system of the Islamic Republic is misfiring, leading to a bloody, uncoordinated crackdown that is being recorded by the very citizens it seeks to silence. March 3, 2026. 72 hours since the world tilted. The Islamic Republic of Iran stands in a state of suspended animation. Official state television continues to loop recitations of the Quran, interspersed with images of the late supreme leader. But the streets tell a story of absolute uncertainty. The Interim Council, consisting of President Pezeshkian, Chief Justice Mohseni Ejei, and Ayatollah Alireza Arafi, struggles to project authority, while the IRGC's high command is reportedly operating from decentralized underground bunkers. Thousands of targets across the country have been struck by U.S. and Israeli forces, including missile sites and command centers, leaving the regime's defensive posture in tatters. Celebrations that broke out in North Tehran and across the diaspora in Canada and Europe have been met with a near-total internet blackout inside the country. Today, the world watches as the 40-day mourning period begins, yet there is no peace. With the Lion's Roar operations continuing and the threat of regional escalation still high, Iran's future is no longer a matter of succession, it is a matter of survival. This is the Dark Archive, recorded in real time. We wait for the next update. From the void.